sports athlete. Yeah. Anyways, we gotta be off the film. What's up, guys? What is up, guys? Smile, smile. Do not forget to effing smile. That's what they say. Anyways, let's get some coffee and we're gonna play some piano. Mushroom coffee. I do like the mushroom coffee. I do have to admit the mushroom coffee is really good. Now, the piano's over there. We're gonna get some of the mushroom coffee, the adaptogenic qualities. First thing first, when you wake up, hydrate. Hydrate, hydrate. So we're still on the bulk, guys, so we are bulking. Bulk is going good. 2 days ago, well, a day and a half ago, we did a really tough session. So the body is still sore and achy in the upper body. We're getting used to training again. So I'm gonna flood my body with water and creatine. A lot of water, a lot of creatine. I'm gonna drink some coffee, and then I'm gonna down some amino acids just because during a bulk, in my experience, how do I say this? It works very good using creatine and keeping your body kind of hydrated and flooded. It just really does. All right. Pop some of that in. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of juice. That's the vegetable juices. I like the beetroot powder more than him. What's up, guys? Hey, what's up? How are you? Welcome in the chat. I am making some coffee. I do have the piano for you guys who are curious. I do have the piano and I'm going to play a little bit. I'm just making a little bit of coffee and getting me a little... Hey, what's up? Making me some coffee. I made some mushroom coffee with adaptogenic mushrooms. I like to mix the mushrooms in with the coffee. So I've got lion's mane, turkey tail, and all that. And we're gonna play piano right over there. Drink this real quick. How are you doing today? What's up? What you doing? What am I doing? Good question. So I am bulking. So on my channel, Mind, Music, and Muscle, I'm going through a bulk. So my morning routine is to make some mushroom coffee, drink my creatine and my little amino acid. I'm gonna play piano for about half an hour. Then I got some work and some stuff to do, but I figure my channel is turning more into a blog. That sounds cool though? Yeah, what part sounds cool? Let me know what part sounds cool, and let me know, guys, if you're enjoying the bulk. I've been putting some muscle back on and kind of growing my body a bit. So it's been kind of fun. I don't know if you guys have ever gone on a bulk, but it's kind of cool when you start lifting and eating and you see your body grow. It's kind of fun. And I use music over there. So this mushroom coffee I'm using today is basically the Shroomology. So yeah, so it's kind of just like a blog. Like, see, here's the thing. I do so much stuff and I have a new business project. I'm simply using a blog approach on the streams because I'm getting a lot of viewership from my streams, and that seems to be what's been working. So yeah, but as far as the creatine that I use, nothing crazy, man. So I think the only creatine that anyone needs is basic creatine monohydrate. You could get it at GNC. I mean, there's also creatine like this. That's from Germany. It's micronized, right? At the end of the day, when you're trying to build strength and power, as I did before many years ago, the phosphate energy system is the most important energy system when building muscle and power and strength. So creatine gives you extra fuel for your phosphate energy system, and that's the energy system you use for power. That's different than an energy system when you go for a run. Nice, they're good ones? Oh yeah. If you can get micronized. Micronized creatine is a little bit better by study, but at the end of the day, if you're healthy and you have no gut issues, creatine should be fine for most people. But here's the thing, man. Michael, 5155. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if I can't remember if you strength train. Yo, what's up? But for me, yo, what up, baby? I'm gonna play a little bit of piano as I'm making my coffee. You know, we're enjoying a bulk, so we're back in bulk mode, so we're gonna put on some size. This is Mind, Music, and Muscle. I talk about philosophy, anything with world religion, or just how to think. We also talk about music theory. And then on top of music theory, I'm also in a bulk. I feel that it looks familiar, David. You gotta remember, even though there's only a couple people here, I do have almost 3,700 subscribers, and I have over 100 different people that come in and out of the chats, depending on what time I stream. I don't get a lot of people all at once, but I do get a lot of people that come back and come back. So I try to remember all of you if I can. And yeah, the difference between how I use creatine and a lot of people, okay, I like to use higher amounts of creatine. I like 15 to 25 grams daily. That's where I get my best results. Oh, cool. Okay, so sweet. So Michael, I am a certified master trainer and nutritionist, and I have an ISSA cert, and I've been working in gyms. So this is a question I love. Just telling you kind of my background in the Navy and all that. So, do you need creatine? Absolutely not, you don't. But my question is, what are your goals? If your goal is to sleep better, well, you tell me your goals, but you know, I'll tell you what I use creatine for and just kind of tell me your goals. What's up, David Canolo? Welcome back. When you're going to the gym, what are your main goals, right? Because creatine is probably the most cost-effective supplement. I think creatine works better than protein powder if you actually are eating food. I think people spend way too much money on protein powder, where it's not bad to buy protein powder, but if you're eating real food, I think you'll benefit from creatine more, especially if you don't eat a lot of meat. Kind of tell me what your goals are in the chat, and I'll let you know if it's a good idea or not. I do have a certification in supplement combining for my athletes that I train. So I'll give you some good advice here, man. This is something that's really enjoy. It's really fun to talk about. I really enjoy supplements and how they affect the body and training. I love training athletes, so you're kind of in the right spot. So you tell me, man, what your goals are, like maybe how many days a week you're training. You trying to put on mass, you're trying to be strong, you're trying to build that bodybuilder look and be kind of juicy and plump. You're trying to be powerful, you training for sport, you training for speed. Like, what are you training for? Because if you're training for performance and power, are you trying to bulk? Oh, hell yeah. If you're trying to bulk, I'd say use creatine. I don't know how much you know about nutrition, but try to use a 40-40-20 ratio. 40% carbs, 40% protein, 20% fat. And depending on your body weight, I'd take 10 to 15 grams daily. And drink a lot of water and keep your diet like 80% of the time clean. 20% junk food, 80% clean food. That's your best bulk. Remember, when you're bulking, you don't need as much protein. You need a minimum amount of protein. You need like 0.08 times your LBM, which is your lean body mass. But most of the athletes that I train that are high schoolers just want to get bigger and stronger. So, and then the elders and ladies want to get leaner. So I've got a lot of experience over 10 years training people, and I can tell you that most people, if younger guys in their 20s trying to get bigger, you do upper body, lower body workouts, upper body, lower body rest, upper body, lower body rest, and then you eat a bunch of food, you use creatine, and you eat food, stretch, you'll get some results, man. Just to put it in perspective, I was like really small in high school. Trying also to set daily calorie deficit. That don't make sense, man. Hey, Michael, how can you bulk and set a calorie deficit? You see what I'm saying? Those goals are different. So don't do that. Don't try to say I want to get bulkier, but then find my deficit. Those are two opposite goals. So look, people have their own opinions, and I'm a coach, so I'm going to give you my opinion. I think bulking and cutting is the way to go. Okay. Take some time to put on more mass, and don't worry about a deficit. Once you build the mass and you build the strength and power, as you do that, slowly taper off the calories, right? You don't want to stay in a deficit as you're bulking. That's a very bad idea because your bulk will go nowhere. And you see what I'm saying? Don't do that. Like, trust me, man, if you're trying to bulk and stay strong, do not go into a deficit, man. I mean, unless you just want to stay extremely, extremely small, don't do that. You'll stay lean and you'll get some muscle, but it'll take somebody 4 or 5 months to get like somebody else bulking and cutting the right way. In 1 year, they'll get, in 6 months, they'll get what you'll get in over a year. You know what I'm saying? Do not try to stay in a calorie deficit and bulk. You're talking to a nutritionist, a sports science guy. Trust me, don't do that. Before I had surgery, I was like 300 pounds, man, and I was a powerhouse, okay? I had an injury of my back, kind of a combination of a lot of things, but long story short, don't do that, okay? 5155, don't try to be like, okay, it's time to bulk and get bigger, but man, I gotta watch my calories. Nah, yeah, man, think about it. Your calories for weight loss, right? Now, I'm not saying go out and just eat everything and pizza and all this shit every day. But what I am saying is when you want to get bigger, focus on that. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but if I want to train an athlete to get bigger and stronger, the last thing I'm going to do is give them less food. Unless they're eating chocolate cake and Twinkies all day, then I might say, hey, let's not eat the Twinkies, but then give them a banana, or an apple, or like some steak and rice, Look, anybody in the chat, I'm a strength trainer, okay? I've been doing this a long time. Look at old pictures of me before my surgery. I'll show you one picture I posted the other day before my surgery. I'll show you. Let's see. I put one up the other day. Oh, let's see if I can find it. Anyways, this is my food, right? So that's exactly what I mean by food. So when I want to bulk, I'm cooking my food and I'm eating like at least 3 to 4 times a day, minimum, preferably 6. All right, so I'm telling you, food is the key when it comes to bulking. I am telling you this, and this was me before my surgery. So that was me. But then I had a kind of like a life-changing surgery and I hurt my back, so I'm kind of limited to what I can play and train now. But that's an idea of how I got when I was training. So, yeah. See if that helps. We'll see another picture here. See, this was me, right? Yeah, well, I have to because you gotta remember I'm a professional coach. Like I'm a professional. Like I'm certified, I train people, they pay me money to train them. So that's one of the businesses I do. But this was me in high school, right? I was an athlete, I was an endurance runner. And then once I started lifting weights, I kind of got more like this. You see the difference? So that was over a course of like a couple years, like 3 years, 4 years. So the difference was the food. And that wasn't even my biggest. Now I'm getting back into a bulk now because I have an injury. But right through here, that's kind of an idea of my physique when I was training. So that's the physique I was able to develop. But I was also able to lift a lot heavier before my surgery. And yeah, food is everything. This is the food that I cook, right? So as you can see, these same plates are right here. Right? The same plates right here. So what I'm getting at is when you want to, how do I feel now? What do you mean? How do I feel as far as my injury? My back is still hurting. It hurts every day. It hurts every time I walk. Every time I take a step, it hurts. But it's hurting less and less, and it's been 2 years. So it's getting better. It's been 2 years. I do my best. I can't train heavy deadlifts. I can't train heavy squats. So instead, I go to a gym that has like a beltless squat. And I'm starting to make progress again. But guys, I lost close to 100 pounds after my surgery. So yeah, it kind of sucked. But it is what it is, man. It's just one of those things where, it wasn't meant to be, man. So, and now we're kind of like right here. Now this is me now. Nothing crazy. I'm still decently large, but nothing compared to what I used to be. Now, that doesn't mean, I'm still 6'4", I'm still 220 pounds, but when I was 260, 270 pounds, I carried a lot more mass. I feel better being lighter, but what I'm sharing you with is, the whole point of me showing you this is to show you guys I've already gone through bulks. I know how my body, like you see right here, you can see muscle through my hoodie. You see how I pop it? I'm not as big as I used to be, but I'm bulking in a way where I'm gonna put on more muscle, and it's all down to the food, right? Yeah, I'm never gonna be the same after surgery. Once they cut me open with the knife, I'm never gonna be the same. I've accepted that. I still think I can build a pretty good physique, but I'm not gonna have that big, large, thick physique without heavy deadlifts and squats. Like you can get pretty strong without them, but my body really enjoyed deadlifting squats. And I like deadlifting a lot. Just the back can't take it anymore. That's why I tell you guys, get a professional trainer. When I was training, I didn't know some of the movements I do and how bad they were for me. I didn't do them the right way. And I got injured, and I have a crooked spine. I was born with a crooked spine. So because I'm scoliotic and stuff, some of the movements just really are bad. No, that's okay. You just do what you can and keep going, man. Now, I've got my coffee. Like this is my breakfast, right? For example, I make these. These are basically my sausage and egg McMuffins, but I make them homemade. So my breakfast will be 2 of these, which is basically egg, chicken, sausage. I use a lot of eggs, chicken, sausage, rice, and bread in my diet when I want to bulk. I think those are great foods. I use real bread, not fake bread. Do not get fake bread and eat a bunch of it. Get real bread and eat it, and you will feel better. Weird, boy. All right. What's up, baby? What's so weird, man? You say weird, boy? What's weird? What's weird, man? What's so weird, huh? Let me throw a shirt on. What's so weird? So, I mean, I'm holding a little bit of muscle. I'm not nearly as large as I used to be by any means. But like I said, I just woke up, I haven't eaten, and I started my bulk. So my bulk, I'm gonna try to get back up to 250 pounds. That surgery was no joke though. That surgery really set me back. I can't lift heavy deads and squats anymore, but that's all right. And also, for y'all who don't know, I was in the Navy for a while. I don't know, like 10 years. What are those, biscuits? Oh, no, man. Those are okay, so I'm a coach, right? So I'm a professional coach. I train athletes and stuff. I'm going on a bulk. So I cooked a bunch of food, right? The food looks like this. Look at this. I cooked all this. You see this? All this food. This is the food I cook for myself when I want to put on weight, right? Coming off of surgery, I'm going to get big again. So, essentially, and I'm documenting it on camera, which is fun. So, for me, now, all right. These are my homemade, they're almost like a McMuffin. I take chicken sausage, egg, cheese, and a Dave's Killer English muffin, and I make what is called my protein McMuffins. It's pretty much the same thing as a McDonald's McMuffin, but I make them homemade, and I use chicken sausage and really good eggs, and I kind of season it, and they are absolutely delicious. So what I do, when I want to get larger, my method of getting larger is eating a lot of food and getting stronger. Always been when I got my best results in the gym. So, you see, this is my fridge. This is how I prepare for food. You see all these foods, food, and I cook for my family too. Yeah. So, I mean, if you've ever tried to do a bulk or anything, then you know firsthand, you know, the food is the main thing. You can break your body down as much as you want, but you got to put nutrition and fuel back in. So, Mind, Music, and Muscle, this is kind of what I'm talking about on my channel. The things I talk about on my channel is philosophy. I'm into kind of like world religion and philosophy and stuff like that. Shout out to One Life. It's a gym I train at. I'm a trainer there, in case anyone wants to know. Also, I've got the music over there. We're going to play some piano here in a second. So, Mind, Music, and Muscle. We talk about philosophy. I'm going on a bulk, so I'm going to be putting on some muscle. And I like to teach music theory. Got stuff like this, you know. So that's kind of the way I try to run this channel. And if you guys like music and stuff, I do try to play over here. I play with this little thing I'm working with over here. See this? Let's see here. Got through here. Let's see. piano there. Trying to play the piano, man. I'm trying to play it by ear. Is it? Whoa, there you go. You guys enjoying that? Let me know if you enjoy any of the piano. Just kind of playing a little bit. Hope you guys are having a good day. Like, comment, and share if you enjoy it. Hi, what's up? How are you? What we got here? Kenneth Hardry, yo, what's up? Tanya Camille, hey, what's up? How are you? Practicing a little bit of piano. Just working on some scales and stuff while I get ready to eat my food. How are you? Ha! Whatever that means. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. while I'm doing this, I wrote this song, so I'm just messing around. You guys can chat if you're in here. I don't bite. So I wrote this little piece, and I'm just practicing it. So it's da 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 Here we go that. Just a little practice. Just a little practice. All right. Now it's time to eat. Eat a little snack. Time to eat a snack. Time to eat a snack. Cool. Hope you guys like some of the piano. If you do, that was cool. Thank you. I do enjoy playing the keys when I can. Snack time. Oh. Welcome back, Blake Stanley. Welcome back, Stanley. What's up? I'm glad you guys liked some of the guitar I was doing. Yeah, the guitar is fun. I mean the piano, the music. How are you today? Hi, how are you? How are you? How are you? Dude, my chicken sausage, whole egg on a good Dave's Killer McMuffin. I say it's a McMuffin, like a egg muffin. God, these are so good. I literally think these are one of the best breakfasts. And they have good calories in them. They're not like a bunch of bullshit calories. I make them homemade. They're so good. Oh, so good. How you guys doing? Oh, these are good, dude. No joke. So, I have always loved McDonald's Egg McMuffins. I think they're delicious. So, when I bulk and I'm trying to put on size, I eat a lot of food, right? Because you're training in the gym, you're eating food to grow, okay? So when you're trying to put on size, you want to eat. The McMuffins at McDonald's have a lot of, calorie. I mean, it's not quite as bad as people say, but it's not the best food. If you're in a pinch, eat it. So what I do is I get the Dave's Killer Muffin, right? And I'll show you, I have them over here. I take the Dave's Killer Muffin, right? Little English muffin, and I'll toast them. I have more right here. I have like the muffins and bagels frozen, right? So what I do is I toast them, and then I take chicken sausage like this. This is chicken sausage. I'm a big fan of chicken sausage when you're bulking because you need salt in order to stay hydrated in the body. So I take chicken sausage, eggs, I cook them, and then I layer them with a little bit of hot sauce and honey mustard, good condiments, and low-fat cheese. And then basically I cook them. And I have other videos of me actually cooking them. And then they end up looking like this when I'm done, right? So you got one egg, a piece of chicken sausage, whole grain, hot sauce, and then it's a perfect bulk food. Guys, I'm going on a bulk, which means I'm gonna put on a bunch of muscle and put on size. So this is a way to eat a good, healthy breakfast. So for me, I always know I'm gonna have food ready to eat. The biggest thing that stops people from progress is when they train. The biggest thing that stops people's progress is they don't eat enough calories. It's not about how many proteins, carbs, and fats you have. It is kinda, but if you're not getting enough calories, none of that matters. You gotta get your calories, then your macros, and then your micros. And then I drink this. This is beet juice because I want to keep my body flushed and I want to keep my circulatory system healthy. This is beetroots and sea moss. This opens up your vessels and causes more blood flow. I don't really like to constrict my vessels and drink too much caffeine. I'm going to have a little bit of coffee, but the beetroot powder and the salt and the chicken and egg, all that mixed together really helps with recovery. It's got the right ratio of everything you need. And of course, we're taking the creatine and obviously all that stuff. Taking about 15 grams to 20 grams of creatine daily. And like this shirt, I'm trying to see. This shirt is let me see what size shirt this is. And I like to grow into a shirt. So this is a 2XL. So this shirt is a 2XL. So I am not super large, but to get an equivalent, right, this is a 2XL shirt. So what I'm trying to do is make sure my arms get fitted back into this. And I like to take a big shirt and grow into it. That's how I measure my progress. I put on a shirt that's loose until it gets tight. And then that's how I measure my growth. You can look at the scale, you can measure, but I've always liked to put a shirt on that's bigger and then grow into a new shirt. So then it's kind of a visual, like as you want to put on size, you're growing into a shirt, right? How do you make that look so good? Well, the reason it's really good is because I cook really good food, man. So growing up in college, I worked in restaurants. I used to be a dishwasher. I used to be a server. I've cleaned tables, I've bussed, and I know how to cook. Now, do I cook the most extraordinary, awesome meals every time? No, but I know how to cook simple food that's easy to cook so I can cook a lot of it and it tastes yummy. Hence why I have this. See all my food? I mean, look at that. I mean, you're telling me you can't bulk on mashed potatoes and chicken and veggies? Like, I eat a lot of mashed potatoes when I bulk. A lot of potatoes, a lot of rice, a lot of meat, a lot of cheese. That's always been my key to bulking. And of course, I eat like healthy stuff like nuts and seeds and fruits. I eat some vegetables here and there. Not my favorite thing in the world. And also these. I also like these, which are these are cheese tortellini, and I actually think I'm going to make some because I like to eat a lot of pasta when I bulk. Call me crazy, but if you can't put on size and you get real pasta, like real pasta, where the noodles are not made in the United States, but they're made in like Peru or something, it works good. So, any other questions? So we're going to cook some of this pasta too, because I love me some pasta. I'm gonna make some chicken tortellinis and cheese. Remember, when I'm bulking, I am slamming down food, guys. I've been telling people for years that, like, when it comes to a bulk, you gotta eat more food, dude. Nobody ever believes me when I say that. I don't think people realize how much food you have to actually eat to bulk. Like, if you're actually trying to take your body and get it larger, you gotta eat a lot of food, man. I have bulked many times in my life. I have gotten pretty large at some points, and at some points I've gotten not so large. So I've gone up in weight and I've gone down in weight, and I can tell you when I want to bulk, this is kind of the secret. It's food. I know people don't want to hear it. It's not sexy. You can't sell it, but it is food. That's the key. No joke. Where did they put? Has anybody else had the issue where your family comes in and moves stuff and you don't know where it's at? Where did they put stuff at? Think, why did somebody put that there? Somebody put a lid. Somebody in the house took a lid and they took a lid and they stuck the lid underneath all the pots. But yeah, we're getting thicker like in the chest and stuff, and you can see we're getting thicker again, slowly but surely. So let's load up on some food and let's go back to the gym. My chest is sore, so I can't train chest. I'm gonna probably train rear delts because I'm working on my rhomboids and my lower back. And I might do some legs, but mostly today is gonna be upper body pull. Focusing on just getting stronger again with my posterior chain. I gotta build some strength after this surgery, man. Gotta build my strength back after the surgery. So, we will get it. We will get it. Why? Because there is no option. We'll just make it happen. Guys, if you're in the chat and you're enjoying the talks with Coach Chris, let me know. Okay. All right, we'll put those there. Okay, cool. No need to defrost those. Put that there. I am in the chat, guys, if you want to talk. I am looking at the chat. We're just putting a little bit of the Dawn soap mixture in here. All right, all right, all right. Pop that there. It really makes sense to do it that way. If anything, I know during this bulk, I might just try to get 20-inch arms again. By the way, if I can't like get as much size as I want, then I'm just gonna grow my arms to be like freakishly huge. I mean, my arms are probably one of my best body parts now, just as far as size goes. It's not like I'm super cut or definition at all, but you know, I do think I could get close to 20-inch arms if I really tried. Keep in mind, when I first started, my arms were 12 inches. So I put close to like 7 inches, 6 inches on my arms over a decade. Not that my arms are huge, but they're a lot bigger than they effing started. And my arms are long because I'm like 6'4". Usually when you have really long arms, it's really hard to fill them out. But there's tricks to it, guys. What you guys got in here? So, we got the food over here. We're gonna take the yummy stuff. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yum, yum. Oh, honey, it's time to eat some yum, yum. Oh, let's go, yum, yum. If you're in the chat, where are you coming in from? What are you doing this morning? Why are you in here with Coach Chris? All right, guys. I guess I'm going to end the chat. We had a couple thumbs ups. You guys stay good, and I will see you next time. Peace.